I've always enjoyed hosting small dinners. Nothing fancy, just a few close friends, music low in the background, a glass of wine, and enough pasta to feed twice the number of people invited. It helped me feel like things were in control, like my life had finally settled into something peaceful after the chaos of the past. That Saturday night, I was expecting 5 people, 2 friends from work, my neighbor Lily, her new boyfriend, and my best friend Tasha. It wasn't meant to be a big deal, just dinner, drinks, and maybe a board game if we weren't too full to think straight. I had the table set by 7, candles lit by 7:15, and everyone started arriving right on time. Except for Lily. She showed up last, just a few minutes past 8, wearing a bright red scarf and holding hands with a man I didn't recognize. "Hope you don't mind," she said, smiling. "This is Nathan. I didn't want to leave him out tonight." I froze. It had been over 3 years, but I knew that face immediately. The slight scar near his right eyebrow. The way he kept his hand lightly curled into a fist, always. That stupid silver chain. It was him, Nathan, my ex, the one who once waited outside my apartment all night, who sent over 50 messages in one weekend when I said I needed space, the one I moved cities to get away from. I forced a smile. "Of course, come in." No one else noticed. I guess I was the only one who saw how tight his grip was on her waist, or how his eyes didn't move much, except to glance at me every few minutes. He acted polite, laughed when he should, complimented the food, but never once acknowledged that we knew each other. Dinner went on like normal, except I barely touched my plate. I kept waiting for him to slip up, to say something only I would understand, a private joke, a word, a name. But he didn't. It wasn't until Tasha went to grab another bottle of wine from the kitchen that I noticed he had placed something beside my plate, a folded napkin I hadn't touched. I opened it. Inside was a small, torn photo. It was of me, taken years ago. One I never gave to anyone. One I thought I'd thrown away. My stomach sank. And then I realized Nathan hadn't just come with Lily. He had planned this. I excused myself from the table as calmly as I could, clutching the torn photo in my palm so tightly it crumpled. In the bathroom, I sat on the edge of the tub and tried to breathe. My heart was racing, not just from fear, but from recognition. That photo was taken in my old apartment 2 cities ago. I'd taken it myself, late at night. I'd never posted it. I'd never shown it to anyone. So how the hell did he get it? I splashed water on my face and stared into the mirror. There was no way Lily knew who he really was. She'd have mentioned it if she had. But more than that, she looked comfortable around him. Safe. Just like I had in the beginning. When I got back to the table, everything looked the same on the surface. Half-empty glasses, people laughing, Nathan helping himself to another slice of garlic bread. Except this time, his eyes met mine and stayed there for a second too long. He smirked. Not big. Just enough to let me know he saw the panic in me. I didn't say anything. I couldn't. Not without sounding insane in front of my friends. Who brings up stalking and manipulation over dessert? So I waited. As soon as the meal was winding down, I told everyone I wasn't feeling well. Lily offered to help clean, but I insisted I'd handle it tomorrow. One by one, they left. Nathan and Lily were the last to head out. He was charming as ever, thanked me for the meal, said I had a beautiful home, and told me I hadn't changed a bit. I watched them walk down the hallway from my window, but just before they reached the elevator, he turned his head and stared right at me. No wave, no smile, just stared. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every creak in the hallway made me sit up. I double-checked the locks. I even considered calling Lily to warn her, but what would I say? Hey, that guy you brought over tonight used to obsess over me and might be doing it again. It didn't help that when I checked my phone the next morning, I had a new message from an unknown number. "It was good seeing you again. Dinner reminded me of the old days." I didn't reply, but I knew it was only a matter of time before he found a way back in. For the next few days, I tried to convince myself it would blow over. Maybe seeing me again was enough for him. Some twisted sense of closure. Maybe I was overreacting. But deep down, I knew better. Nathan never did closure. He did control. I didn't respond to the message. I blocked the number. I even deleted it, hoping that ignoring him would take away his fuel. But on Wednesday, I came home from work to find my front door unlocked. Nothing was taken, nothing broken. But a wine glass, one of the good ones I only bring out for company, was sitting on the coffee table. I hadn't used it, and worse, there were fingerprints. I called the police. They took a report, did a walkthrough, and said there were no signs of forced entry. Maybe I forgot to lock it, they suggested. Maybe a friend came by and thought it was okay to let themselves in. I knew the truth, I just didn't have proof. The next day I messaged Lily, "Hey, can we talk? I need to ask you something about Nathan." She replied almost instantly. He actually left town this morning, said he had work back in Chicago. Why? I told her I'd explain later, but I never got around to it, because that same night when I came back from the store, there was an envelope taped to my front door. No address, no stamp. Inside was a printout of an old email I once sent Nathan, one I had forgotten existed. It was a vulnerable one, me apologizing for needing space, for pulling away, for being too sensitive. Words I now hate myself for saying. The kind of email someone holds on to if they want to rewrite the story to make you the villain. I changed all my locks the next morning, added a camera above the door, told my building manager everything. Still, for the next 2 weeks, I barely slept. My stomach dropped every time my phone buzzed. And then, it stopped. No more messages, no more signs. It was as if he vanished again, just like the first time I cut contact. But here's the thing. I still haven't told Lily. I can't. I don't know what he told her or if she'd believe me. I just hope she never sees the version of him I saw. And sometimes, even now, when I'm setting the table for dinner, I find myself glancing at the door, half expecting a knock that never comes, half dreading the day it does.